a number of ways, and the information available to me isn't really allowing me to get educated. I've read the WikiLeaks document, and it did not add up and make a lot of sense. I've gone places and seen that they're talking about giving government control to multinational corporations where they can override laws that are within this country as far as environmental laws. It's going to change tariffs, and it should actually hurt our country in the way that NAFTA did, the FTA with Korea, hurting trade. And I'm just curious as to where are you on this whole thing? I'm very much, I want to see that become more transparent. I want to know what's going on.
Sure.
And
you have a right to know what's going on.
And to my understanding, they're not even including you as congressmen in these conversations. So I'm just trying to get myself an education, and I think you might be able to clue me into something on that.
Sure. Well, TPP is being negotiated now. It's been going on for quite some time, years. That's
yes.
right. And the Obama administration has negotiators that are involved in that, the State Department, and Congress is involved to the extent that we're following the issue pretty closely. I've been following it particularly closely because I'm the chairman of the Asian Pacific Subcommittee of Foreign Affairs.
Okay.
And so I've had a lot of discussions with a lot of people, both those that are involved in the actual negotiations and people like yourself that are concerned that they may be affected. And you're right, it affects tariffs, it affects trade, a whole range of things. And you've got a number of countries that are involved. The idea is that that by having additional trade opportunities between countries, those countries that are actually signatories of TPP, all benefit. That's the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Now, as you indicated, I mean, if you look at NAFTA or CAFTA or a whole range of other trade agreements, there are various points of view as to whether they've worked or not worked.
Yes.
And you mentioned my view, unless I'm satisfied that I believe this is in our country's best interest, then I wouldn't support it when it gets to us. There are some steps that have to happen. President Obama had hoped that the negotiators would have the agreement resolved by the end of this year. Well, that's obviously not going to happen, and so they're going to be into next year. And there's also what they used to call fast track, which is now called the Trade Promotion Authority, that Congress is contemplating now whether to give President Obama that authority. In essence, what it does is that when the Obama administration would reach an agreement, does that agreement then come back to Congress and we can amend it and offer a lot of different variances to this before it actually is voted, the whole bill is voted on, or is it one vote? And Fast Track, or Trade Promotion Authority, says it's one vote. And,
right.
And he does not have that authority right now.
Now, is that something you're trying to stop?
The
fast track, nothing with the but just the fast track.
Traditionally, I've been a supporter of allowing either Republican presidents or Democratic presidents to have that authority. Myself, I've supported Trade Promotion Authority in the past.
Okay.
I'll look at this and make that decision once we have the legislation before us. But in general, I do think that's a good idea because without it, the odds of actually getting a trade agreement are virtually nil.
I see how things get caught up and everybody does, but on this, I see it affecting wages. As an employer, having people work for less is actually not so bad for me, but I think that's bad for my community. And so, there are things as far as wages and, I think we already have below the food standards in this country are below what I like. I'm against GMOs, and I believe this will also lower the standards of our food. I was told things such as, if I'm raising chicken, I will send that chicken to China to get processed, and then it will be sent back here. And I'm curious as to, things like that. Why would that happen? And if we do that, obviously the standards in China are not the equivalent to the standards here, and I prefer the standards here to the standards in China. How are we protected as U.S. consumers when we don't even, when U.S. law does not apply with this agreement?
Well, certain standards would have to be met, and I've